Let's be real for a second. Most men out here think sex is just physical. They think if a woman's body reacts, it's just biology, mechanical. But that's not the full story. There's a deeper truth hiding behind every reaction, every touch, every moment of intimacy. If you're struggling to connect, if you're feeling lost in relationships, I want you to pay attention, because what I'm about to share is something most men overlook, something that separates those who are simply players from those who are truly men of value. See, when a woman's body responds in ways that feel intense, wet, or creamy, it's not just about arousal. It's about trust. It's about emotional safety. It's about her feeling seen, respected, and understood. If you ignore this, if you reduce it to just physical, you're missing the golden window of connection. A moment where she's letting you in emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And the truth is, most men don't know how to read these signs. Most men panic, overthink, or misunderstand. But the men who master this, they unlock something far more powerful than sex. They unlock intimacy, loyalty, and a woman's deepest affection. Today, I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to teach you how to read her body, how to understand her emotions, and how to elevate every sexual encounter into a connection that actually matters. No gimmicks. Just reality. Most men walk into intimacy thinking it's just physical. They think if a woman reacts, it's biology, simple, predictable, mechanical. But here's the reality that no one tells you: her body is a mirror of her emotions. Every reaction, every subtle shift, every moment of wetness or tension is a message. If you can read it, if you can understand it, you're no longer just a man in the bedroom. You're a man she trusts, a man she respects, a man who can truly connect on levels most men can't even imagine. When a woman's pussy discharges that white, creamy fluid during sex, it's more than just a physical response. It's a signal of emotional vulnerability. She is showing you a part of herself that she rarely shows anyone. Most men panic at this point. They overthink it, misinterpret it, or worse, reduce it to just arousal. That's a mistake. That's where emotional intelligence separates a boy from a man. Understanding her body means you understand her mind. You see the signals she sends through touch, through rhythm, through tension, and you respond, not react. Think about it, her body doesn't lie. Her arousal, her fluid, her involuntary reactions, they are windows into how safe she feels, how respected she feels, how emotionally connected she feels with you in that moment. If she's relaxed, yielding, letting herself feel, she's telling you she trusts you. She's telling you she's open. And trust me, if you ignore this, if you reduce it to mere mechanics, you're missing the opportunity to be unforgettable. Understanding her body also means understanding boundaries. It means paying attention to her reactions. Not just the obvious ones, but the subtle ones. How does she move under your touch? Where does she hesitate? Where does she respond instantly? These are the codes she's sending you. A high-value man deciphers those codes, responds with respect, and deepens the connection. A low-value man ignores them, thinking he already knows everything. So here's the truth: mastering intimacy isn't about techniques, positions, or stamina. It's about emotional awareness. It's about reading her body and understanding the story it tells. Her body is a language, and if you can learn to speak it, you don't just become a better lover. You become a man she can rely on, a man who can hold her trust, a man who transforms sex from a fleeting act into a profound emotional experience. Here's something most men will never tell you: sex is never just about the body. Her physical reactions, every moan, every shiver, every drop of white creamy fluid, are tied directly to her emotions. They're not random. They are triggered by how safe she feels with you, how respected she feels, and how deeply she trusts you in that moment. If you ignore this, if you reduce it to just arousal, you're missing the entire point of intimacy. Think about it for a second. A woman's body is wired to respond to emotional connection. When she's aroused, it's not just because of touch. It's because she feels seen, appreciated, and understood. That creamy discharge you notice isn't just biology. It's a physical reflection of her emotional openness. It's her body saying, I trust you. I feel safe with you. I let myself be vulnerable here. And vulnerability, my friend, is priceless. Most men make the mistake of seeing these signals and reacting selfishly, rushing, forcing, or thinking it's a sign to just go harder. That's where so many lose connection. The men who truly understand intimacy pause, observe, and respond. They realize that every reaction has a story behind it. That white, creamy discharge, it's not a cue for ego. It's a cue for awareness. It tells you what she feels, not just what she wants physically. It tells you if she's comfortable, if she's emotionally present, if she's truly opening up to you. Here's the truth: emotional triggers drive physical reactions. If she's tense, distracted, or unsure, her body may resist, even if she wants to be close. If she's fully present, her body will respond instinctively, naturally, and deeply. High-value men know this. They read the signs and respond with patience, care, and understanding. They create a space where emotion and desire meet, where her mind relaxes and her body follows. So don't just chase physical response, chase emotional alignment. Learn to see the signals behind every reaction, to hear the unsaid words in her body. When you do this, you don't just improve sex, you deepen trust, build intimacy, and become a man who can connect with a woman on a level most men never even reach. Remember, her body reacts to emotion. Master the emotion, and you master the connection. Most men believe communication is about talking. They think if they say the right words, she'll feel close, intimate, and understood. But here's the truth that separates average men from high-value men. Real communication goes far beyond words. It's about noticing the subtle signals her body sends, understanding the emotions behind her reactions, and responding in a way that shows you truly see her. During sex, her body talks constantly. Every sigh, every tremor, every drop of white creamy discharge is a message. But if you're only listening with your ears, you'll miss it. She isn't always saying what she feels. Sometimes she can't. Sometimes she doesn't even realize it herself. That's why learning to read her body is more important than memorizing positions or techniques. High-value men know this. They tune into her movements, her breathing, the tension in her muscles, the way her eyes meet yours, and they respond with understanding, not assumption. Think about it. When a woman feels emotionally safe, her body relaxes and opens naturally. But if she senses judgment, impatience, or misunderstanding, her body shuts down, even if she wants intimacy. Communication beyond words is about reading those cues and adjusting your energy accordingly. If she's tense, slow down. If she's responsive, match her rhythm. If she pulls back slightly, check in, without needing to ask directly. The moment you can respond to her emotional and physical signals without relying solely on conversation, you create a level of intimacy most men never reach. This is why so many men fail to connect. They rely entirely on words and forget that intimacy is a conversation without speaking. A moan, a subtle shift of her hips, or that creamy discharge are all expressions of how she feels in that exact moment. By acknowledging it with your presence, your touch, your patience, you're speaking a language deeper than any words. You're telling her, I see you, I understand you, I value you. Mastering communication beyond words transforms sex from a mechanical act into an emotional experience. It's about feeling her, understanding her, and responding in ways that make her feel truly known. High-value men don't just hear. They observe, interpret, and act with awareness. That's how you build trust, deepen desire, and create connection that lasts long after the physical moment ends. Let me be honest with you, passion alone is never enough. You can be physically skilled, confident, and even dominant. But if respect isn't at the core of your connection, desire fades fast. Many men think sex is about pleasure, conquest, or showing off. But here's the reality: real intimacy, the kind that keeps a woman coming back emotionally and physically, is built on respect. Her body responds not just to your touch, but to how she feels you see her, value her, and honor her boundaries. When a woman discharges that white, creamy fluid during sex, it's not just her body saying she's aroused. It's a sign that she trusts you enough to be vulnerable. And trust grows only in the presence of respect. If you pressure her, rush her, or treat her body as an object, that trust evaporates instantly. You might get a moment of physical reaction, yes, but emotional connection, gone. Respect is what allows her to open fully, emotionally and physically. Respect is what transforms ordinary sex into intimacy that feels unforgettable. Respect isn't complicated, but most men overlook it. It's in the small details: listening when she speaks, noticing when she's uncomfortable, asking for consent even in subtle ways, honoring her pace, and never treating her reactions as something to manipulate or exploit. High-value men understand that desire and respect are not opposites. They are intertwined. You cannot cultivate one without the other. Think about it like this: passion ignites the flame, but respect keeps it burning. Without respect, her physical responses are temporary, shallow, and disconnected from emotion. With respect, every touch, every reaction, every moment of intimacy deepens connection. She feels seen, safe, and appreciated. And when a woman feels this way, her arousal is not just physical, it's emotional, spiritual, and profoundly tied to trust. That's when intimacy becomes transformational, when she discharges freely and fully, and when the experience is remembered long after the act ends. So if you want to elevate your sexual and emotional connection, start with respect. Treat her body, her reactions, and her emotions as sacred. Understand that every moan, every sigh, every drop of fluid is not just a signal of desire. It's a reflection of trust. Respect it, honor it, and desire will naturally follow. Let's be real. Sex is never just about bodies colliding. It's about connection, vulnerability, and trust. Every woman's body sends signals when she feels safe, respected, and emotionally present with you. That white, creamy discharge during sex, it's more than biology. It's a sign that she's letting her guard down, that she's opening herself up to you in a way very few men are ever allowed to experience. But here's the catch. Most men don't even notice these signals. They misread them, ignore them, or fail to respond appropriately. And that's where connection dies. Recognizing trust signals means paying attention to subtle cues. Notice her breathing. Does it slow and deepen when you touch her in certain ways? Notice the rhythm of her movements. Is she yielding, following your lead, or resisting? Observe the micro expressions in her face, the way her eyes meet yours, the way her body relaxes into yours. Each of these small, often silent indicators is a window into her level of comfort and emotional presence. When you learn to recognize these cues, you're no longer just a participant in sex. You're a partner in creating intimacy. Trust is fragile. It's not automatic. A woman only gives her body freely when she feels safe, valued, and emotionally connected. If you rush her, dismiss her reactions, or focus only on your satisfaction, you destroy that trust instantly. But when you pay attention, when you respond thoughtfully to her signals, you amplify it. That creamy discharge becomes more than a physical reaction. It becomes a symbol of connection, a physical manifestation of her comfort and willingness to share herself fully with you. High-value men understand this. They see trust signals as invitations, not obligations. They don't manipulate her response, they honor it. They understand that her body reacts emotionally before it reacts physically. The more you notice, the more you respond with patience and care, the deeper the emotional bond grows. This is how ordinary sex transforms into something unforgettable, something that lingers long after the physical moment ends. So start observing, start listening with your eyes, your hands, and your intuition. Every micro movement, every sigh, every bodily response is a form of communication. When you can recognize and honor these trust signals, you don't just improve her pleasure, you strengthen the emotional bond that makes intimacy truly powerful. Here's the truth: most men never understand sex is not just about pleasure. It's about connection. It's about creating a space where her body, mind, and emotions align with yours. That white, creamy discharge, it's more than a physical response. It's her way of showing that she trusts you enough to be vulnerable. But vulnerability alone isn't enough. To create real intimacy, you must elevate the act from something purely physical to something profoundly emotional. Most men fail here. They focus only on technique, speed, or stamina, thinking that mastery of the body is mastery of intimacy. They forget that a woman's arousal is deeply tied to how safe and understood she feels. High-value men know that true connection comes from responding to both her physical cues and her emotional state. They understand that when she's fully present, fully trusting, and fully comfortable, every touch,